Okay, so now we're going to move on to triangles. So your formula sheet will give you your triangle formulas. Always look back at that just to make sure. So A stands for area, B stands for base, and H stands for your height. So let's explain what those are. So area is if you're filling in this entire triangle with a marker, or if it's a big triangle outside, you're filling it in with grass. So many different things could be. Now, your area is 1/2 base times height. So now let's see how we figure out what our base and what our height is. Well, do you see how this dotted line drops down to a right angle? That dotted line is measuring your height. It's not really there, it's just a measurement. And then see how it drops down and touches your base? That is where your base is going to be. Wherever your height falls, wherever your height ends up with that right angle, that's where your base is going to be. Okay? So if we look over here at the examples, this started at the top, dropped here. Do not be surprised when sometimes your heights are drawn outside of the triangle, just because if they drew them somewhere inside, it would get weird. Now here's the base because it dropped down, and this is the side that it's on. Doesn't have to touch it in the picture, but that is your base. Okay? Now this one here, notice it's a right triangle. So this side and this side are your legs, and they are also your height and your base. So remember, when you're working with a right triangle, you're looking for the two legs to put into this area formula. Now here's another triangle, and this time the height is being measured from the bottom to the top. So this is the height. Remember, it's an imaginary measurement. It's not really there. And where it lands is your base. So let's go ahead and try to do some examples. All right, so it says an artist is creating a painting with different sized triangles. Find the area and perimeter. So we are finding two things. We're finding the area and the perimeter for this triangle, and we're finding the area and perimeter for this triangle. So I'm going to draw a line just because I don't want you to be confused, and I'm even going to change my ink color if it'll let me, so that I can separate each one. All right, so we know the formula for finding the, oh, sorry about that, let me erase it. We know the formula for finding the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So I'm going to show you in the calculator how I would do this. Okay, A equals, you don't need that part, but I put it in so that I know what I'm working with. Okay, 1/2, come outside, base times height. All right, my next line is my base. So let's go back. I'll put my height there too, because I know we're going to have to find that. Let's come back and look at what we have here. See this congruency mark there? If this is 7 inches, this is also 7 inches. And notice that here's your right angle. Do you remember what I told you about your legs are your height and your base? So you know that your base equals 7 and your height equals 7. So let's come over here and put it in our calculator. Base equals 7, height equals 7. And that means the area is, so I'm put area equals 24.5 inches is the unit squared. Remember, area is always squared. So now I'm going to do the perimeter, and I'm going to change color for that too. So let me find a color for perimeter. How about, oh goodness, how about orange? Okay, so we're going to go to orange, and we're going to come up here, and we're going to work on perimeter. So I think I've told you that perimeter for me is adding up all the sides. So I'm just going to put add sides. So I'm going to come over here to my calculator, and I'm going to look carefully. A triangle has 3 sides. So let's start at the top. 7 plus, and let's work around clockwise. That's how I keep from missing things. When you skip around, you might miss something. There was another 7, and there's a 10. Then go back and check. 7 plus 7 plus 10. Yes, that's what's in your calculator. So your perimeter is 24 inches. Remember, no squared for perimeters. Those are just basic units. When you have a square, it's for area. Okay, so let's go back and let's try this again. So I'm going to type in my formula. Area equals 1/2, come out from under there, base times height. And then I'm going to figure out what my base is, and I'm going to figure out what my height is, okay? So here's your height here. Remember that that's an imaginary line. It's not really there. It's just a measurement. So your height is 6. So let's type that in first. Then we'll go to our base. Your base is wherever this lands. So it's right down here at the bottom. That 13 is your base. And that gives you an area of 39 centimeters squared. You always want to have that squared, all right? And then let's do perimeter. Perimeter, again, please add all the outsides. Maybe I should say that. Add all outsides. If there's something inside, you're definitely not going to add it, but that comes along later. So let's come here, and your perimeter is, start up here maybe at this side, 7.8. I wonder if I put in the wrong numbers. I'm going to have to check that. And 10 and 13. So your perimeter, let's check it again. 7.8 is here, 10 is here, and 13 is here. So that perimeter will equal 30.8 centimeters. All right, so that's how you find the area and perimeter for triangles. Now we've got one more, and this one has the height on the outside. Remember, an imaginary line that's just measuring your height. The right angle is down here at the bottom, so this is your base. Okay, so again, let's put in the formula. A equals 1/2 base times height. So your base is, it's down here where the right angle drops, 15. And your height is this imaginary measurement here, 21. So that means your area is 157.5, and it's millimeters squared. And your perimeter, again, add all the sides. I'm not even going to write that down again. So let's start over here. 22.5 plus 22.1 plus 15. And your perimeter is 59.6. You added this, and this. You did not add the height in the perimeter. And then, of course, you need your units, millimeters. All right, if you have any questions, make sure you just ask us. Have a great day, guys.